Hey guys, this is John the Sea Monkey Dude, and I just wanted to show you something that I've been doing recently to grow babies into adults more efficiently, I guess. Yeah. So, what you're looking at right now is my SMES. That is the Sea Monkeys Executive Supersized Suite. I guess saying SMES isn't really saving me any time if I name what it is every time I do it. Anyways. This is probably my favorite of the actual Sea Monkey branded aquariums that are out there. And I know this video isn't perfect right now, but what I'm trying to show off is hopefully you can see there's a lot of little tiny babies in here. Lots and lots and lots of them. Now, I've had this tank going for about 2 years now. And so you can see, hopefully you can see some of those babies, a couple big ones, but there's a lot of babies. Lots of algae in here. Look at the bottom of there. Pretty gnarly, right? Lots of algae, lots of baby sea monkeys, and we got a couple that are adult looking, a couple of the teenager looking ones. And what I've been doing over the past couple months is waiting till we got, 20 to 30 or so adults in here, right? Like that one that just swam across the front of the screen there, or even a little bit bigger than that, really, And then I'm taking them out. Hopefully you can see all these little babies in here too. And I am putting them, in a temporary, container, something like an ocean zoo like that. And I am dumping those adults into here. You guys are familiar with this aquarium. Most of my videos are about this one now. This is a big 16-gallon aquarium. We call it the world's largest sea monkey colony. If anyone's got one bigger, let me know. But that's one of the ways we're helping this colony to grow. Obviously, you can see a whole lot that are in here mating and doing their thing naturally and reproducing. We've got babies and teenager looking ones and all that good stuff, which is great. But if you remember, or if you don't, go back and look at some of my older videos. A few months ago, this colony crashed. And we had about 10 to 15 that survived out of the probably 1,000 or so sea monkeys that were in here. And so we started this colony again by dumping in some of my existing colonies, and now I'm raising adults in here and then transferring them. Now, what I wanted to show you was, look at the bottom of the screen right now. I can see a whole lot of those babies. I know it's not perfect, but there's a lot in here. And what happens is, you guys have probably read in the sea monkey books and stuff like that, that if you have a colony that dies out, let the water evaporate, because there's probably some dormant eggs in there. And when they get wet a second time, a lot of them hatch. That is 100% true. I've done that before, and it does work. But what they don't say in there is that a lot of those dormant eggs can hatch in other ways too. A lot of times if you have any environmental change, to their environment there, to their ecosystem, to their tank, some of those eggs will hatch. Whether that be a change in salinity, changes in temperature can do it too, stuff like that. And so what I do is when I take all those adults out, if there's any little babies in there still, I leave them. But I stir the bottom of this like crazy. All that gunk down there, so a lot of it's algae. But again, this colony's been going for almost 2 years now. So we've got that gunk, which we know is a mixture of all sorts of things. It is excess food, it's shed skeletons. Sadly, it's dead sea monkeys that have, started to, turn to dust. It is literal dust that falls in the top of the tank, right? It's algae, it's all sorts of stuff. We call it gunk. And some of that is dormant eggs, right? Well, I'll give this a good stir. I use one of these skinny, long silicone spatulas. You may have seen me show these off before in other videos. You can get them on Amazon. I stir that up really, really good. And at this point, really, there's not many sea monkeys in here at all when I do this. I wait a couple days, and then we've got hundreds of babies like we do now. There's tons and tons of babies. Hopefully some of these are showing up on the video. But, they're all over the place. And I know the inside of this tank has got some algae growing on it, so it's not the best for visibility, but trust me, there's a ton in here. And they grow. It's cool. These eggs, these dormant eggs hatch. And I'll wait a month or so, till we've got a bunch of adults, and then transfer them into here. and do that process all over again. I am not adding more eggs into here. There we go. You can see the babies sort of easily now. Tons of them. I'm not adding more egg packets. These are eggs that are coming from, the sea monkeys that are in here that are laying them, or dormant eggs that were from the original egg packets that I started the colony with. And I think a lot of us believe that there might be some eggs in the sea monkey food. I'm pretty sure that's true. So some of those, might be adding to it. I mean, there's not a ton in there in the food, but yeah, a lot of times I think these sea monkeys, they lay their eggs and they don't all hatch. Let's say a sea monkey lays 100 eggs, and if you're lucky, 50 of them hatch. You got a bunch of babies, right? But they might have 50 eggs that are just sitting down there. So this colony keeps basically restarting itself when I take the adults out. And I think that's really cool. So because of how that works, we're able to take this colony that I had die, which was sad, right here, and we're helping to build it up again. So they're doing it themselves, and then I'm helping a little bit too by taking the adults and dumping them in here, once they're big enough. So I thought that was neat, thought I would share. I do have a nursery tank. This is sort of like a reverse nursery tank. We're taking the adults out. This is like the official Sea Monkeys nursery tank. If you guys haven't seen it before, I did a video on this a couple months ago. Go take a look. It's nothing too fancy. It's just a little plastic. I've got nothing in it right now. Little plastic dish that you can raise babies in and transfer them. So I actually tried that once so far. I'll try it again. When the babies grew in here, I actually put them in this tank. This is the super set from Australia. You can see we've got lots of adult sea monkeys in here. If it'll focus. Yeah, there they go. They're doing well. And we've got some little babies in there too. Water's a little bit cloudy right now, so I'm not going to feed them, quite as much. I scraped a bunch of algae off of the glass earlier. I think that's probably why the water's a little bit cloudy right now. But this tank is thriving, doing incredibly well. And, yeah. So nursery tanks, reverse nursery tanks, whatever you call this when the colony just sort of restarts itself. I love it. Yeah, it's incredible. These are cool little animals, and I'm going to keep doing that with this tank. So in another few weeks, we'll probably have a lot of adults in here, and I'll take them out and put them in the big aquarium, stir this stuff up really good, and hopefully we'll have a whole lot more babies again. All right, have a good night, everybody. If I don't talk to you, have a great Christmas in a couple days here, too. Bye-bye for now.